Welcome to Global Nexus. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. The American legal system stands at a crossroads as former President Donald Trump petitions the Supreme Court in a case that has gripped the nation. Trump's legal team is making a final, high-stakes appeal in the long-running battle with writer E. Jean Carroll, seeking to overturn a costly and reputation-defining verdict. This isn't just about money, it's about legacy, accountability, and the limits of presidential power. The Supreme Court must now decide whether to intervene in one of the most contentious legal disputes involving a former president. The nation waits, knowing the outcome could shape the boundaries of justice and power in America. To truly grasp the stakes of this story, we need to look back, not just at the headlines, but at the lives forever changed by a single moment. Our journey begins decades ago in the heart of Manhattan, a city bustling with ambition, secrets, and stories waiting to be told. In 2019, E. Jean Carroll, a well-known advice columnist and journalist, stepped into the national spotlight with a revelation that would shake the country. She accused then-President Donald Trump of sexually assaulting her in the 1990s. Inside the iconic Bergdorf Goodman department store, a place synonymous with luxury, now forever linked to controversy. Carroll's account was harrowing. She described a brief but violent encounter in a dressing room, an event she said left her traumatized for years. The memory, she claimed, lingered in the shadows of her life, shaping her sense of safety and trust. Trump, then the most powerful man in the world, responded with fierce denial. He insisted he had never met Carroll, publicly attacking her credibility and motives. His infamous retort, "She's not my type," became a flashpoint in the debate over truth and power. Despite the backlash, Carroll stood firm. She revealed that she had confided in two close friends immediately after the alleged assault. Their support and later testimony would become a cornerstone of her case, offering a rare thread of corroboration in a story with no witnesses. With no physical evidence and no eyewitnesses, the case quickly became a national flashpoint. It was more than just a legal battle. It was a cultural reckoning, pitting a powerful man against a woman demanding to be heard, and forcing the country to confront uncomfortable questions about accountability and belief. This explosive allegation didn't just spark headlines, it set the stage for years of legal and public battles, drawing in lawyers, journalists, and a nation divided over what justice should look like. Carroll's allegations moved from headlines to the courtroom. In May 2023, a New York jury found Trump liable for sexually abusing and defaming Carroll, awarding her $5 million. Trump denounced the verdict and vowed to appeal, but a second trial in January 2024 raised the stakes even higher. This time, the jury ordered Trump to pay an additional $83.3 million for continued defamation. The combined judgments, over $88 million, sent a clear message about accountability and the consequences of public denial. Trump's repeated attacks on Carroll were seen as malicious, justifying the massive punitive damages. These verdicts became the foundation Trump's legal team would desperately try to overturn. Trump's appeals faced swift rejection. The Second Circuit Court of Appeals upheld the $5 million verdict, finding no errors in the trial judge's conduct. Trump's request for a full court review was denied, signaling the appellate court's confidence in the original decision. His legal team tried similar arguments against the $83.3 million judgment, including claims of presidential immunity, but these too were dismissed. By September 2025, Trump's appeals had failed at every level. With legal avenues closing, his only hope was the Supreme Court. The stage was set for a final, improbable bid for reversal. Trump's Supreme Court petition didn't dispute the underlying facts of the case. Instead, it launched a forceful attack on the fairness of the entire trial process. His legal team argued that the proceedings were fundamentally flawed, raising questions about whether justice had truly been served. Central to their argument was the claim that Judge Lewis Kaplan had allowed highly prejudicial evidence, most notably the infamous Access Hollywood tape. Trump's lawyers insisted that this tape, which captured crude remarks from years earlier, had no direct bearing on the case at hand, but instead inflamed the jury's emotions and undermined their impartiality. The defense also objected to the inclusion of testimony from other women who alleged past assaults by Trump. They argued that this testimony was irrelevant to E. Jean Carroll's specific claims and served only to paint Trump as a serial wrongdoer, effectively putting his entire character on trial rather than focusing on the facts of the case. In their petition, Trump's lawyers emphasized what they saw as a glaring lack of direct evidence linking Trump to the alleged incident. They framed the case as not just a legal dispute, but as a politically motivated attack designed to damage Trump's reputation and influence public opinion. Trump's team went further, calling the entire proceeding a Democrat-funded travesty. They argued that the trial was orchestrated by political opponents and urged the Supreme Court to intervene, not just to protect Trump, but to safeguard the integrity of the American judicial process for everyone. Their argument was as much political as it was legal. They painted Trump as a victim of lawfare, a term used to describe the weaponization of the legal system for political ends. This narrative resonated with Trump's supporters, who saw the case as part of a broader campaign to silence and discredit him. Now the Supreme Court justices faced a weighty decision. Had the fairness of the trial been fatally compromised by these alleged errors? Their ruling would not only determine Trump's fate in this case, but could also set a precedent for how high-profile, politically charged trials are conducted in the future. As the nation watched and waited, the stakes could not have been higher. The country braced for the Supreme Court's response, knowing that its decision would echo far beyond the courtroom, shaping the public's trust in the justice system itself. The Trump-Carroll case became a battleground for America's culture wars. Trump and his supporters saw the lawsuits as lawfare, a weaponization of the courts to destroy a political rival. They pointed to the lack of forensic evidence in the timing of Carroll's accusation as proof of a political hit job. Carroll's supporters, meanwhile, saw the verdicts as a victory for Me Too and a sign that no one is above the law. They argued Trump's own words and actions led to his downfall, not political bias. The case exposed a deep divide. One side saw justice, the other, persecution. The Supreme Court's decision would be filtered through these partisan lenses, no matter the outcome. The nation's polarization was on full display. In a move that drew both attention and silence, the Supreme Court quietly declined to hear Trump's appeal, issuing what's known as a denial of certiorari. This action, while procedural, carried significant weight. The justices offered no explanation, no written opinion, just a brief order that left many wondering about the deliberations behind closed doors. Importantly, this wasn't a ruling on the merits of the case. The Supreme Court simply decided that the case didn't warrant their review at this time. It's a subtle, but crucial distinction. The court wasn't weighing in on Trump's guilt or innocence, but rather choosing not to intervene in the legal process that had already played out. As a result, the lower court's verdict remained intact. Trump was found legally responsible for sexual abuse and defamation and ordered to pay E. Jean Carroll $5 million in damages. The jury's decision, after weeks of testimony and evidence, stood as the final word in this high-profile case. For Carroll, this moment was more than just a legal victory. It was a deeply personal vindication after years of public scrutiny and doubt. For Trump, it marked an inescapable defeat, one that would follow him in the public eye and in the historical record. The Supreme Court's refusal to take up the case sent a clear message. The justices signaled their reluctance to wade into highly politicized disputes, especially those already settled by lower courts. In doing so, they reinforced the boundaries of their own power and the importance of the judicial process at every level. This decision underscored the enduring power of jury verdicts and highlighted the limits of presidential privilege, even for a former president. It was a reminder that no one, regardless of status, is above the law. While Trump's supporters cried foul and decried the outcome as unfair, the legal chapter was now closed. The case left a lasting mark on Trump's legacy, shaping public perception and political debate for years to come. The echoes of this case will continue to resonate throughout American society, serving as a powerful example of accountability and the enduring strength of the nation's legal system.